Thanks for joining us for In Focus tonight. Heroin use is on the rise in our suburbs, and so are overdoses and deaths from it. So much so that one county police department made a specific effort to curb the issue by arming officers with the drug.
It has been about 6 months since Arundel County Police made their officers start carrying the drug. It is called Narcan and is used to bring someone back from the lethal edge of a heroin overdose, a decision the department says statistically is a lifesaver. It was just at the beginning of the midnight shift in early July when officers got called to this apartment along Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie for a possible heroin overdose. It didn't take long for Officer Nicholas Tackett to confirm it. The victim was blue, sweating profusely and taking labored and shallow breaths. There was a spoon on the floor, a needle too.
I didn't kind of look around for it. I just pulled the kit out that I brought in with me and just gave the drug.
Tackett gave the woman Narcan, 1 milligram in each nostril, then sat and waited.
She came to, and as soon as she actually came to, she began crying. I think that she knew something was wrong, that she almost may have died.
The woman thanked the officer for saving her life. For him, it was already the second time he administered the drug in his northern precinct post since Anne Arundel County Police trained him to use it in April. The department was the first in the state to train and require its officers to carry Narcan. It was August of last year when police began to see a spike in heroin overdoses, but it was when they saw 14 overdose deaths in the first 11 weeks of 2014 that they decided they needed to act.
Basically, their breath is almost gone. It's very shallow, and we're hoping, trying to get the fire department there quickly. And you would almost watch somebody die. So we don't want to do that. We wanted them to have the tool to save that person's life.
So by April, Anne Arundel County started to outfit and train its officers in how to use Narcan. Since June, all of its about 450 officers in patrol are required to carry the drug, a bet that is paid off. According to the department's statistics, since April, while Anne Arundel County had more than 300 overdoses with 44 fatalities, its officers were able to save 12 lives. A number that has other departments in the state taking notice as they too realize their officers may be the first and only line of defense against an overdose.
We are proud of that, but we also have helped other agencies. There are other agencies in the state of Maryland that are now have been giving their officers Narcan, so anytime they need help, hey, they'll question, how do you set that up? What protocols do you have in place? We gladly help them out.
A lesson learned by departments and their officers, but one users and their addiction may not see. Even after nearly dying, Officer Tackett says he ran into the victim again, and again, she seemed to be using.
She still kind of looked, in a heroin life.
We heard that same story from her friends as we tried to track her down for this story. No one has seen her in weeks. Evidence of a powerful grip heroin has on our suburbs, and further proof of the need for a tool now used to prevent the immediate death from it.
It's one of those drugs that, unfortunately, if they try to get help and they don't have insurance or whatever they may be, they might not be able to. But if they don't try to get help, they're just going to fall right back into that pattern.
Now, outfitting Anne Arundel County officers with life-saving Narcan was an effort launched by the now outgoing Police Chief Kevin Davis. His department was just the 23rd law enforcement agency in the country to train its officers in the use of that drug. Again, Anne Arundel was the first in this state, but since its launch, both the Annapolis Police and the Maryland State Police Department have looked into doing the same.